What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to another episode of the Nonsense Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Now, those of you who are fans of the show probably realise that I didn't say a number. That's because we're again doing one of our painted episodes in hand, as it were. That's right, we're doing another dip into Adventure Time because who knows, we might be sick, it might be too hot to record, we might be stricken with some kind of unknown visit we weren't expecting. Either way, we're busy this week, so you're getting this, which was recorded in May.
Yeah. Before it got too hot to live.
Pretty much, man. But yeah, as I said, we're doing more Adventure Time. We're continuing our trend of character introductions or first appearances. Today we're tackling the first appearance of Bronwyn, Jake's grandchild. This one's a bit iffy. She's got two official debuts. In this one, she's just in a picture. But we did the same thing for Huntress Wizard, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we get into the episode itself, obviously we can't talk about our weeks or the goings-on because we don't know what's happened during the week. This was recorded in May. So instead, we're going to borrow a feature from the Retrospective.
Yes, the good old time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. What have you got for me today?
Who is the weirdest character from Adventure Time you'd most be comfortable with fucking?
Oh, weirdest character.
As in design-wise, maybe not necessarily action-wise.
Maybe Lady Rainicorn?
Maybe, you say.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone weird that I'd be down with.
So yeah, you're not interested in Lumpy Space Princess?
No. Because the whole package has to be part of the whole package, you know, and LSP sucks.
I reckon her head game's probably good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only game she's got, because if you put it anywhere else, she'll give you lumps.
Well, even if you put it in her mouth, you're probably going to get lumps.
Yeah, you're going to get lumps. You ever wanted a knot? Get a head from LSP. Yeah, who's going to be your weirdest pick?
And the question was entirely prompted by Bronwyn's grandmother, and that, like, yeah, I'd bang Lady Rainicorn. But it's weird, isn't it? Because her grandchildren, when they grow up, which doesn't take long, which is weird, look more attractive to humans than Lady Rainicorn does.
Yeah, that's why Lady Rainicorn is the weirdest one.
You know what? Maybe one of the Candy Kingdom people might technically be weirder, but then at the end of the day, you're just fucking a sweet with a vagina.
Yeah, like shag a jelly. Yeah.
Rick, do you have a question for me?
Yeah, mine one is you have to live for a year in a country that you've never been to and the language you don't speak. What do you pick?
How wealthy am I?
You have a middle-of-the-road job with a middle-of-the-road for that country income.
So I'd be okay, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you'd be okay. You'd be okay.
I'd probably choose Finland. I know there's a fair amount of people there that speak English, but you could say that about most countries.
Okay.
But I think Finland, because what little I know about Finland is you get left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd go for that. How about you, Rick?
Yeah, in the spirit of like not knowing the language, not being able to speak it, I'd probably pick Italy, because I know enough French and enough Spanish to be able to pick a couple of things up relatively quickly, I think.
Okay, so you came up with a question and immediately went, okay, I'm going to circumnavigate my own caveats as quickly as possible.
Yeah, plus also I've been to France and I've been to Spain, so I can't pick one of those. So yeah, Italy is my one. It's the major European country that I've not been to as well, so I think I'd be able to enjoy some time there.
Fair enough. Rick, what are we doing today?
Adventure Time Season 6, Episode 12, Ocarina. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Another reason why I picked this episode instead of the other one is I remember this episode as being fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find a little bit weird? Is Princess Bubblegum riding on Lady Rainicorn in the intro?
Yeah, because I think early on, Lady Rainicorn is just Princess Bubblegum's mount, and then she gets, you know, some characterization.
But I don't think that ever happened.
Sure, I think it's all in the background anyway, isn't it?
Probably.
It's like just suddenly, all of a sudden, it's she's got a thing with Jake.
Like, doesn't Lady Rainicorn literally just speak in Korean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's BMO's voice actress, I believe.
Oh, okay. Like all these...
I think TV is Tina from from Bob's Burgers.
Okay. The one that just spoke?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one's the other one?
Yeah, it's Louise.
Now, if Whan is fucking voiced by by the last kid.
Oh, by Gene. Yeah.
Oh, jelly skeletons.
Gelatins.
Fuck you.
Kim Kil-Whan just pieces out.
That's definitely not Gene. Or if it is, he's putting on a very different voice. That sounded like fucking Bender, didn't it?
It did a bit, yeah.
But we know it's the same voice actor, guys. We're just talking about the inflection of the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you still had that.
Actually true. Oh, quadra bass, man.
Hey, Jake, no offense, your kid's a dick.
Yeah.
Landlords suck automatically.
Yeah. Jack up the rent.
Like, Ki-Wan's got somewhat of an innocent motivator. Like, the whole reason he's doing this is he wants Jake to show some responsibility. But
but it's done in like one of the worst possible ways.
Yeah.
The literal property ladder.
Oh, okay. Like, Ki-Wan is younger than Finn, technically. But like,
Yeah.
Finn is still a child.
Yeah. So he's already. It's a weird thing with Rainicorns hybrids in that they do just kind of grow up super fast.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're adults by the end of their episode they're introduced in.
Yes.
And like typical scummy landlord fashion, I'm renting this out to far too many people than I should be.
Yeah. Oh.
No. No.
Oof.
Now, hang on. They've rented the ladder officially, so surely that means no one else is allowed to use it.
Well, ideally, yes, but...
Well, they're not allowed to use the bathroom, so how come other people are allowed to use their ladder?
Yeah. The banana guards. Oh no, they're straight to police.
Is this not like another message of like, the police are not here to help you?
Yeah, they're here to enforce property rights.
This is real, too real.
Yeah, it's a real simplified way of putting it, but yes, this is exactly right.
You're the motherfucker who pressed charges.
Yeah, like, this is the kind of thing you normally have with a father figure, not a son figure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the gag.
Like, for real, Finn and Jake are adventurers. It doesn't take them a lot to become millionaires every so often.
Yeah, yeah. Like, they've got a treasure room and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately that property is now his property and they're going to use that bullshit, right?
Yep.
Ugh.
Poo Golem!
I don't think it's made of poo, but... I'd shoot him.
What a cunt.
Does Jake even know he has grandchildren at this point?
I don't think he does.
Because I believe that's the motivator, is that he's got his own kids to look after and he's looking at his dad and he's like, oh man, he wasn't there, why'd he suck?
Yeah, he wasn't good. Oh, he's a follower of the King of Oo.
To be fair, PB's a shit. He deserved it.
Yeah, it's been like half a day.
How did Jake do that?
He's a magic dog.
Yeah, but he's not that magic. He's got stretch powers, not fucking duplication powers.
Yeah, normally it's that he's gone.
Yeah, but it's not. Doesn't work.
Doesn't have any holes. Doesn't have any holes.
This really is kind of depressing on many levels, isn't it?
His design is also so unsettling in that he's just a long sausage that he just bends.
He is the most concise blend of Lady Ranicorn and Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Bronwyn.
Yeah, there she is.
Like, there's not much to say, really. Like, it's just like, there was no winning in this episode for anybody.
No, it's, like, yeah, Kim Kill-1 was a massive buzzkill. But, like, father figures like that need to sometimes be a buzzkill.
But again, it's this weird one where, like, his motivations were relatively pure. He was trying to help his father in a weird sort of way. It's just, who the fuck does it like that?
Yeah, it's not uncommon though. Like, sometimes the way to toughen someone up is to kick them out.
No, though. You don't.
I know, right?
You don't take away that kind of blanket from someone, especially not.
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind, we're looking at this as at a lens from 2024. This episode came out years ago, where it may have been a bit more easy to do such a rug pull. But if you do that in 2024, where everyone is struggling, like, I live at home with my parents, I can't afford to get a home of my own, and I probably never will be able to. You know, and the thought of someone just going, no, we're taking that from you now because we need you to learn a lesson. That's fucked.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not a message that's aged well.
Like, tough love is a thing, for sure, but, like, this really did cross the edge. And at the end of the day, it's a fucking cartoon, so it's fine and doesn't matter. This was the same episode where someone was like, I can't wait to get home and sit down on my big smelly butt, and then big smelly butt went across Finn's eye. Like,
yeah.
It's not exactly highbrow, it's just, like, as pure as your motivations are, it's a fucked up thing to do. Did we come on this tangent because I asked you what you thought, or did we just go on this tangent because the episode ended and we needed to talk?
Well, just treat that as my thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a fine episode in a sense, but it was a fucked up episode. I think we already kind of covered it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Rick, favourite moment?
I think it was just seeing all the kids at the beginning of the episode when they were just like having a nice little picnic, and a couple of them were like super happy to see Jake and the present of macaroni that he brought.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of depressing because there's that one, the one of Jake's kids that has clearly put Jake on a pedestal.
Yeah, and then realizing, yeah, we've met him twice and they're fully grown.
And it's like it's the sad opposite end of Whan's problem.
Yeah. It's I think this might actually just be their first birthday as well.
Maybe. I feel like these kids were born in season 2, though.
Yeah, fair enough. But then again, time is convoluted in Ooh. But yeah, how about you? Do you have a favourite moment?
I think the end with the hug was as close as possible to a favourite moment. Everything else was just far too much of a downer.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, we can't only talk about the good, we have to talk about the bad. Do you have a weakest link?
The presentation of how landlords be just completely overpopulating a small thing just to extract as much money as possible out of as many people as possible.
Yeah, and it's even more fucked up because we know that wasn't even the motivation behind it. He just does that.
Yeah. He just does it to maximize profits, not because he needs the money, but because that's how his business mind works.
Well, also, his motivation for the property wasn't even to extract any funds from it. It was just to teach Jake a lesson.
Yeah.
And
he keeps the gold bone as well.
Yeah, well, again, that one makes no sense to me because just because it was on your property doesn't make it your property,
Yeah, like, it was literally Finn and Jake's property that they buried at that home when it was essentially understood to be theirs.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? As a little bit of a subtle dig, fuck Marceline in this episode. Like, she did this for a thing she doesn't even keep. We never see it again.
I mean, it's a cool 4-necked base, but yeah, she doesn't even use it again. So yeah, that was your what's your weakest link?
There we go. Yeah, my weakest link is we touched upon already how real this episode was. So I'm actually going to point my weakest link a little bit somewhere else, and that is the attempts at regular Adventure Time humour being interjected in such a weirdly serious subject matter really fell a bit flat. Like in any other episode,
the big smelly butt.
Yeah, in any other episode, that is typical Adventure Time jokes, and I get why they did it because it's Adventure Time. It's in the fucking title, but it felt like such a weird place to put it.
Okay,
it's definitely in line with usual Adventure Time humour, like my big smelly butt, and then the big smelly butt touches a thing you don't want it to touch, and yeah. But again, it fell flat to me.
Okay, like I disagree on that slightly, but that's okay.
Go on.
We don't all have to like the same things. I thought that was it was just grounding it in the Adventure Time world, that we know that this kind of silly comedy happens all the time, even when you're having a sad time.
Sure, it's just like, how a couple of episodes ago you were talking about how it felt like Finn you didn't like watching Finn getting tortured. Like, this one is entirely, again, Finn did nothing wrong, and Finn is getting the brunt of, like, the torture thrown his way. He got stepped on, and then a big smelly butt on his eye. And
yeah.
it just felt like kicking a puppy while they were down. down.
Sure.
But hey, it might just be me, and that's fine. Let's end on a highlight, shall we? Do you have an MVP for me?
My MVP is going to go to Jake again. I gave it to Jake previously, and yeah, he does his best, and he's essentially the one who more or less solves the problem with Kim Kil-Whan, and by offering fatherly love that he realizes that he's not so much been withholding it, but like he operates on a different timescale to his kids.
Sure.
And it's nobody's fault. It's just how things are. And that's also kind of real. Like, adults operate on a different timescale to children because kids, their entire life is their entire life, whereas adults kind of have that perspective. But it's kind of flipped this way because Jake is the one who's living like a blithe spirit, whereas Kim Kil-Whan is a business caricature and like takes every moment as a resource.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm giving it to Jake. How about you? Who's going to be your MVP?
I'm going to give it to Finn because he got given a real fucking raw hand in this episode, and he just kind of rolled with it. And when push came to shove, he is the one who gave Jake the idea for, well, if it's not money, then what do we give him? Yeah,
you buy it back one way or the other.
Yeah, like, again, this episode just had me feeling really bad for Finn, because, yeah, Jake kind of made the bed and had to lie in it. That's like, it's still scummy, the surrounding circumstances, but at least there's some sort of in-universe karmic reason for it, whereas Finn was just collateral damage, and it really sucked seeing him get bullied.
Yeah, because, like, they are brothers as well, remember?
Yeah.
So Kim Kil-Whan essentially evicted his uncle, who is a child, just over some beef that he has with his dad.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun episode. That's all I'm going to say. Like, whatever. We watched it because it was Bronwyn's first appearance, and we won't talk about the weirdness that is so many people shipping adult Finn with Bronwyn.
Yeah.
Very weird for many reasons, but we'll let that ship sail.
Mm-hmm,
If you disagree with what we said today, or agree strongly, or have other points to make, we've got the comment section down below. Alternatively, if you're not watching via YouTube, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we'll be back to our regular programming next week. But until then, bye guys.
Ta-ra.